What's up, G1 Nation? Sean Hines here with ScrewAttack, and we just got the opportunity to check out Assassin's Creed Rogue. And joining me is Ivan from Ubisoft Sofia.
Yes, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well, Ivan. Tell me a little bit about why you guys chose to make a separate experience from Unity, which is on the next-gen consoles.
Assassin's Creed Unity, as you know, it's our major new installment on the new generation of consoles, and it's taking the Assassin's Creed brand in a new and exciting direction. However, in order to achieve this, Assassin's Creed Unity has developed a technology from grounds up in order to accomplish this promise, and the technology is essentially working only on next gen. So we don't have an alternative solution but to create a new experience for the old generation of consoles in order to make sure that all our fans who still haven't made the transition to the new generation, they have something new, fresh and exciting to play.
And I'm very excited that you guys chose, instead of to go back to, say, an AC3 landlock experience, you will continue that naval experience that we had in Black Flag, because I felt like that was one of the most interesting and refreshing things that Assassin's Creed had done in a while. Tell me a bit about the environment, though. It seems like it's much different than the Caribbean that we were used to before.
Indeed, the historical backdrop of Assassin's Creed Rogue is the 7 Years' War, or as it's widely known in North America as the French-Indian War. And we're looking specifically at the North American theater. And yes, it covers a lot of diverse and I would say even contrasting environments. Starting from the north to the south, first and foremost, we have the North Atlantic. It's a vast naval world with also opportunities to play on land as well, but the big focus is on the naval part of it. It's a stark, frozen environment full of hazards and dangers to be both on land and on sea. And as we continue down south, our next major location is River Valley. Again, a huge, open, and at the same time very much hybrid world. It's even mixture of land gameplay and naval gameplay. You can take your ship, the Morrigan, into the great rivers, and at the same time you can dock on land wherever you want and go in deep land exploration, follow your main path missions or side activities. It's much more lush and green environment, inviting you to explore deeper and deeper. And the last location, major one in our game, that's New York City. It's a city quite different from New York of Assassin's Creed 3 because it's 20 years younger in terms of timeline, and you'll remember that in AC3 1/3 of the city was burned down. Well, in the Great Fire of New York. Rogue is taking place before that, so this part of the city is completely recreated, and also we have completely overhauled the layout and the rooftop navigation of New York, so you have smooth and seamless experience whether you're playing on the ground or on the rooftops. So essentially, yes, three very contrasting worlds: the stark, frozen North Atlantic, the lush and inviting River Valley, and the bustling city of New York.
And so to go back to the North Atlantic, you talked a bit about how hazardous the environment is. And with Shay as the captain of the Morgan, he is a Templar, which is a departure for the series. I don't believe we've ever played as a Templar in whole truth. But so tell me a bit about how the assassins will interact with you while you're on open sea.
Yes, so indeed we're telling the story of Shay, and for the bigger part of it, he's a Templar, but in fact you start the game with Shay being a brash and very promising young assassin who, as the story develops, at some point in time experiences something really traumatic for him personally, which makes him question his loyalty and allegiance to the Brotherhood, and ultimately leads him to abandoning the Brotherhood and finally joining the Templar Order. And one of our main objectives which we gave ourselves was to make sure that the Templar experience is something really complex and perceived at every level of the game, not just one new feature or one new weapon, but something which you really feel totally different throughout the whole game. So we focused on working with all major systems of the game, and we paid a specific focus on the AI because one of our major goals was to make sure that when you play as a Templar, everything which you as a player were able to do in the previous installments as an assassin now is happening to you. We're flipping it on its head, so to say.
So I might get assassinated, basically.
Absolutely, you can get air assassinated, you can get attacked by assassins from haystacks. As you saw in the demo itself, the assassins can attack your ship with their ship, board you, start killing off your crew unless you defend them and defend yourself. They will take it over. So it's really a complex thing which, combined with the new skills and arsenal of Shay, are providing for a really new and different experience for our players.
And that also seemed to carry over not into the AI that you'll encounter in your environment, but the environment itself, because the ice seems to not only be an aesthetic feature, but something that you can use to either your advantage or as a disadvantage. Talk a bit about the icebergs and the ice breaking. Good.
Indeed, in the North Atlantic, we have floating icebergs which can damage your ship, but you can also use them during naval combat as an important tactical element. You can hide behind them from enemy fire. However, if you shoot at them with your cannons, you can destroy them, and their destruction creates this big shock wave, ripple wave in the water, which throws off the aim of the opponents as they try to shoot you. Or if you're skillful enough and they're close to the shore, you can just smash them in the cliffs with this wave. We also have, as another example, ice sheets, which are covering large spaces of the water surface, and unless your ship is upgraded and equipped with ice ram, you simply can't break through them. But both your ship and the availability of upgrades for it are coming in the game very early on, so you have a lot of possibilities to tailor and customize your ship to your personal preferences and style of gameplay.
How will the ship differ really from what the Jackdaw was like in Black Flag?
So the ship is essentially the Morrigan. It's a smaller ship, but faster and more maneuverable. This gives you great advantage during combat, but it also comes very helpful when you sail in River Valley, in the smaller rivers and channels. It's more maneuverable. And on top of it all, in the Assassin's Creed universe, the Templars are the guys with the deep pockets. They have access to almost unlimited funds, which means that they can afford being at the leading edge of technology of their day. This is represented both in the arsenal of Shay and also the weapons you will be able to use on board of the Morrigan. One example is, let's say, the Puckle gun. It's a rapid-firing cannon, literally the machine gun in its age. And it was actually available at that time as a prototype. You can use it with a devastating effect on smaller ships or to cut down the enemy crew from their deck. You also have burning oil. You can leave a large trail of burning oil behind your ship to break off pursuit or to damage enemy ships which are reckless enough to get close to the Morrigan. So yes, these are just examples of all the new things you can experience.
And so when can we expect to take out to the open ocean again as a new character?
That will be the 11th of November on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Ivan. And that was our look at Assassin's Creed Rogue. Be sure to stay tuned to ScrewAttack.com for all your PAXPrime 2014 coverage.